Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Yes, you're welcome back to another episode of Forever
Together with the Ekimas. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe, like, comment, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a mother that the Ekimas are back.
Yes, you know the drill in this family. The tradition is you must like, you must comment, you must share, you must subscribe.
Yes, let's expand the family, guys. So today guys, we're discussing a very important topic and a sensitive topic. All the topics we discuss are very important and sensitive.
Very important.
But this one is a question people thought maybe we don't want to answer it, or we don't want, but we had scheduled it for a right time. So today we're going to be discussing intermarriages. Baby, are you excited?
I am excited. Intertribal marriages.
Yeah,
I'm
intertribal.
Very excited.
Yeah.
So we get these questions a lot. It is, for me, I think it's worrying, the fact that we're having these conversations in 2022. And I don't think I'd expected for us to have the discussion, but the questions that come through are quite a lot. And so I sense that there's so many people actually who are going through this. And it is a reality in our day, however sad that is. So in this video, we are answering all your questions that you asked us about intertribal marriages. Maybe for context, we are from different tribes, married. I am a Munyankole from Chiruhura district. For those who don't know, it is the western part of Uganda.
Yes.
My husband is
Amanite Sod from Komi district. For those who don't know where the wise men came from, the east.
Yes, the eastern part of Uganda.
Eastern part
we
of
understand
Uganda.
We have audience from all over the world.
That's true.
So in this video, that is what we're going to be tackling. So let's get right.
Let's dive into it, guys.
Christ in the center. Welcome to forever. This is our perfect synchrony, like leather and feathers. No matter the weather, we can storm the umbrellas. Take a stroll in my heart. Let's take this further when I'm beside you, baby. See my stakes get better. Let me bet it all. Destiny vendettas. Rosy the emotional description of this love. I am yours, you are mine. The only thing that matters now. We are the Ekimas.
So guys, welcome back. So baby,
Yes, he'll be doing that.
I'm going to be asking questions, and then but I will also be answering. So it's a So let me shoot. Why did you decide to marry outside your tribe?
That is interesting. So for me, I think the real question is why not? Why not? Yeah. I presuppose the person who asked already sees that there's a problem marrying outside your tribe. And for me, the answer to that question would be a question, which is why not? So I'm going to say that one, and I think this is very important as we start this conversation. I'll speak for myself, you can speak for yourself as well, but for me, my worldview, or my foundation, my values are founded in
Christ.
In my faith, that is in Christ. So everything that I do is defined by that. So it is not my culture, it is not my tribe, it is not. And so even as we have this conversation, the answers that I'm going to give will be based on my worldview, and that's because that's my worldview. It could be different for other people, but for me, my Christian principles guide my decisions. Marriage is very, very, very important. Very important. More so to us because we are literally having a YouTube channel on marriage. So you can imagine how fundamental it is to us. So for me, choosing to marry outside my tribe, it was because it's not a problem. Because what does the Bible say? Is it unbiblical? Is it a sin? No, the answer to that is no. So I married outside my tribe because as a Christian, I get to decide where I marry from, because that is not one of the criteria that the Bible has given us. Yeah, that would be my simple answer.
Okay.
My simple answer. We'll explain as we go, but yeah.
Well, for me, it's more of you don't choose who you want to love. Like love knows no tribe, knows no boundary, knows no religion, knows no tribe, knows no country, knows. So falling in love, I think, is the most important thing. If you fall in love with a person, regardless of where they come from, you don't mind, you're in love with that person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I think I associate myself with what you've said. Of course, the Christian values guiding us. But for me, the most important thing is love. Love knows no boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, you decide who you want to marry, maybe because you love them. Maybe it's a cocktail of things that you're deciding why you're marrying so and so. Yeah, so some people, tribe may be very important to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a deal breaker that if I'm not marrying somebody from my tribe, then it's a no. But for me, I think it's more about love. Love supersedes. You know, there's a story we read when we were in O level, Romeo and Juliet. That love, no. Two families were rivals and they fought, and the two people were dating. So love knows no boundaries, knows no tribe, knows. So for me, I think love.
Genuine love.
Yeah,
authentic
genuine love.
First Corinthians chapter 13.
Yeah.
Let's be specific.
Patience, kind.
Yeah.
And all the ingredients of love that he talks about. So for me, I think that's my answer.
Why? That's why you married outside your tribe, because this is no okay.
Yeah. Do you speak each other's languages?
Yes. Actually, there's someone on Instagram who gave it context. She said, "Do you speak each other's languages?" And that was sent to my DMs. Do you speak your husband's language? If not, aren't you looked at as an outsider every time you go there? So the answer to that question is no. I try. I am learning. We've been married. This is our 4th year in marriage. I have learned some words. I know their foods. I know simple words like greeting, asking for water, and those things. My desire would be to learn. But my desire to learn is not that I don't want to be looked at as an outsider. People will look at whoever wants to look at you as an outsider will look at you as an outsider.
Regardless.
That's the sad reality of intermarriages. You can choose to marry in your tribe, in another tribe. Whether people look at you as an outsider or not is a different issue, and that's really upon them. The reason I'm trying to learn the language is, one, for my kids. They are Itesots, they should know that language, and I should also know it. But also to make communication easy. That if I'm going for functions and they're speaking the language, I am able to actually understand it. So yeah, do we speak each other's languages? On my end, I am trying. My husband is not a best teacher. I think I'm going to talk about the context for why I'm saying that in another as we go. But yeah, so I am trying, and this is not because I am going to be looked at as an outsider. I am going to just say that, guys, when you marry across the tribe, you can be sure there are always going to be people. It might even be the auntie of the cousin of the people who really do not matter.
Or a neighbor.
A neighbor of the, but who feel that they ought to have an opinion about you, and that opinion is that you're an outsider. That will always be there, and that's one of the things you have to expect as you marry cross-culturally. Yeah.
You know, you mentioned something, and I'm like, wow. Yeah, I think for me, do I speak your language? Of course, I know how to speak it. At least I'm much better than somebody. I'm not good. To be fair,
my husband has he understands Runyankode because he knows Luganda so well. Anyone who knows Luganda, you guys, please let us know. Anyone who knows Luganda can understand Runyankode.
That's some words which
but my husband's tribe language is
Spanish.
Totally it's Greek. Spanish. So I literally had to start from scratch.
Okay, not Spanish. So I've tried, guys. I understand. I try, and it has been easy. I mean, I've had colleagues, I've had friends who speak, and
from
before, yes. And of course, yes, getting to know Luganda, I learned Luganda. Yes, I'm not a Muganda, but I know Luganda. So, I mean, to me, it's not a big deal. I need to learn as many languages as I can.
Yeah.
To become better, also to communicate effectively. And why I'm really trying to learn Runyankore more, as I've always told you, I want to have deeper conversations with your parents when it comes to that language, and not English, eh?
Yeah.
In Runyango, and they'll be like, yeah.
That's really sweet.
So I've tried. So, but there are those who feel, as my wife has rightly put, there are people's opinions, guys, that do not matter. Their opinions are of no consequence in your life. They have no consequence in your life. So you and the distant aunt will say, hey, you don't. But I mean, Rome was not built in one day.
Yeah.
A brick per brick, you learn water, you learn food, you learn. It's a new, different kind of thing. So the most important thing I will advise, guys, it's good to learn. For communication, for learn each other's languages. I'm not only saying that because yes, I'm the man, and because I married you, you must only learn mine. For better communication, for better relations. I mean, because two become one, and the family also become. I remember during our wedding, Megan read a verse.
Megan
Your people.
is my cousin.
Megan is her cousin. So she read the verse, and your people will become what?
My people.
My people. So if that makes them, if I need to communicate effectively and really I need to learn your language, you need to learn my language, so that we are one people,
And I think still on the subject of language, what I wanted to talk about is so another comment that someone made was, don't you need to learn the language so that you know when people are backbiting you? I mean, it's good to know when someone is backbiting you, but I would say one of the things that you have to avoid when you marry cross-culturally is thinking the worst.
Yeah.
People are busy speaking their language for you, thinking people are gossiping about you.
Backbiting.
Yeah, like avoid that.
But there are also those weird people, they'll be there laughing. And they're looking at
That's true, they will do it, but try not to be negative. One, you have gone into their family, you found them speaking their language. If you want, learn it and also start speaking it, but
and blend in.
And blend it, but do not always assume that people are gossiping about you. Some people use that, they do gossip, but let it not be what preoccupies you, that when someone speaks Ates or Nyankole, they are gossiping about you. Yes, so the next question, my love, is any culture shocks that you have experienced?
You guys, but that's a good one. Well, you guys speak your language everywhere. I mean, you don't care who's in the room. In every function, there's nothing.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's family meeting where you are anywhere. You jump into, you start speaking.
Regardless of whether there's someone who is not understanding.
As long as the two of you understand each other and four don't, sorry, you guys move. So for me, that was the culture shock.
That is very true, by the way. But I think immediate family meetings. We speak English, baby. Immediate family. When you're in a meeting, we speak.
Okay, ish. Even you, baby, when I'm there, you'll just, when you meet your siblings, you'll first jump into
Oh God, no, but okay, yes, for the siblings, I think sometimes we forget. But baby, when you're there, I think we speak English.
Of course, we speak.
We literally speak English.
But you, it's like over you have missed speaking.
Finally, I'm home and it's
like finally, I'm home. You start
Oh God! I think the most cordial person is my dad in that area. He always tries to translate.
Your dad is the sweetest for him, but
he's always translating, even in culture meeting.
Yeah, he really cares about who's around. But for you, my love, it's like you have missed the language. So for you, which culture shock did you get?
We really speak in our language. I don't think people intend to do it, but it can almost come off as rude. I think I would also find it very rude if I went somewhere and people are just speaking their language. I don't know if you find it that way, but people, even in our like schools, those old village schools, you're taught in Runyankole. So it's like your next. It's not that people want to, but like Runyankole is, you think in Runyankole, you process things in Runyankole, you dream in Runyankole. So yeah. So for me, my culture shock, interestingly, is the exact opposite. These guys speak English. Guys, they speak English. It has been a culture shock. It has been a good thing because then I have not struggled.
For you, it has been easier.
Yes, I actually. That's why most questions with language, I think that the challenge I have found with it is that then it becomes hard for me to learn the language.
To learn the language,
because even with your mom, even with your aunties, everyone, I speak English with them, and it's not that they are speaking to me in English because I don't know their language. Even at functions, at weddings, they will be speaking in English. You find an old woman of like 85, 90, she's speaking good, fluent English. You guys speak English. So it has been easy for me, I think. In that regard, I have not struggled with the communication. And I think that's why you seem to be learning Runyankole faster than because then you have to survive.
I'm a fast learner.
You have to survive somehow. But yeah, so the downside to that is that it's harder to learn the language. I have had to resort to dictionaries.
Actually, somebody asked us a question on IG. Which language you are spoken in your function? I wanted you to say it.
That was another question.
When we came for your function, I said every person who jumped onto the mic, apart from your dad, at least for the benefit of us. Every person who jumped on the mic,
they were speaking
Runyankole immediately. Everyone who got to the mic,
people don't know English.
You did
no
care.
offense, guys. I feel like this video might offend people. We are sorry, guys.
No, it's like you did care who's there, man. If you understand, well and good. If you don't, man, sorry, Yako. Deal with it.
Yes, that's true. That's true. It's quite weird. I find it.
For us on my function on the wedding, it was English.
I don't know if you were speaking English.
No, I'm saying not because you wanted,
because we're there, but that's
everyone,
what you speak.
So I understand when you say the culture shock is English and.
Very interesting.
Okay, wow, you never told me this.
I hadn't really.
Yeah.
So it has been easy for me, and very easy actually, very easy because of that, but also very difficult because I cannot easily learn the language. I think. I forgot what I wanted to say. Did it seem offensive? I have had comments where people are like, it's offensive that you go for a traditional, and that's another thing that will happen.
I think for me also, to qualify what you've been saying, baby, is the element of when you marry into a family, you become a son or you become a daughter into that family. So you are part of that family. So you need to also, as you rightly put it, but also in marriage you must sacrifice. Those are some of the things you have to sacrifice for each other. If you've made the choice, you made that decision that I'm marrying into this tribe.
Yeah, that's true.
I need to make that. Those are sacrifices you need to make as a person. That what do they like this food? I need to learn how to cook. Maybe I'm learning too fast. That question is also there.
Yeah.
So it's a sacrifice on both sides. You must compromise certain things and then learn certain things.
Yeah. Next question
is what food from your spouse's culture do you love and hate the most?
So for your culture, I think I love Ebo. I love Ebo. First of all, I think Itesots have really, really good food. I think you beat us on that one. You have amazing food and natural food, like food from very local and very healthy. Your food is not so much carbs. Most of our food, let's say in central Uganda, even in the west, matoke, posho, what? I don't know if posho is everywhere, but you guys have a lot of food that is plant-based. So my favorite, I think, is Ebo. The one I don't like is forgotten its name.
Amukeke.
You know it? Amukeke. Oh my god. I do not understand the fuss about that food. I remember you gave me so much hype about it, and then I think we had hosted your mom when she came over and we prepared it as just like this one I'll pass. But yeah, I love Ebo so much. I love Ebo. I think because I'm naturally drawn to vegan food, like vegetarian food. I find that your food is amazing.
You made me laugh. So let me first give you, guys, for those who don't know Mukeke and you're out there watching, this is like sweet potatoes. So they dry the sweet potatoes, then after they pound them.
You see how
To
creative
keep
they
them.
are. Very
So
creative.
because of issues like famine and what people were preparing for famine and all that, so they
That's
get
the history.
Yeah, that's the history of the food. So they used to get sweet potatoes, cut them, dry them in the sun, so they become this hard kind of sweet potatoes. Then after they put water and boil and then add. So that's for another day. Yeah, so that's what my wife eats.
And my husband loves it so much.
Yeah, I not so much really, but I eat it.
You
I
love it, okay.
Yeah.
So
So
our
from-
side,
on
what
your side-
food do you hate and which one do you love?
Okay.
And what do you think about the food generally?
I don't hate any because you don't have much food.
Our food is basic rice.
I mean,
hello.
yes. Your food, okay, the real food that you may say is shabu. That's like your.
Yeah.
So I've eaten it. It's nice, but because of my health, but it's nice. Yeah, it's nice. It's
Yeah.
really, yeah. So for you, you do it in a very nice way, which.
That's
yeah,
true. And
I love it.
I appreciate
And,
that you like it because I
yeah.
also love it.
Yeah, so I like it, but because of get fit, healthy reasons, right now I'm trying to avoid those things.
Yeah.
We're into a bit local. So what I hate, there's nothing I hate, as I said, because
Food is basic.
your food is meat, rice,
That's
beans, what. So, guys, I don't hate any food from your tribe. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Another question. So I've remembered another question. I don't think we have it on our list. So we asked this Q&A. We asked people to ask us questions, but it was quite towards when we are shooting this. So I can remember there's a question someone asked about, and it goes back, I think, to what we were talking about earlier. That's why I'm bringing it up now. That I am dating. No, how do I get my partner to believe in my cultural practices, let's say certain cultural practices that he might not believe in? How do I get them to believe in it? What do you have to say about that?
how do you get your partner to believe in your?
Yes, like how do you get them to win them over into your cultural practices that they probably don't?
Well, for starters, I think you need to first invite them for functions. In case it's a function kind of thing, invite them, let them come,
Yeah.
let them get to know what's all about. Give them the context, give them the history about the culture and why you people do a certain thing. So, let me give an example. My neighbors there, they were going to circumcise
Yeah.
every even year. They do that. So, imagine somebody got married and then every man must do that. They feel like yes. So how will you interest somebody who is not? Is by maybe inviting them over
Yeah.
to see what they do and giving them the history. And so I think it's an effort, as I said in the beginning. Marriage is a learning process. We have already said it's a process of learning, unlearning, and it's sacrifice after sacrifice. You all sacrifice for each other. It's not a one-sided thing, but if my spouse is interested in it, if let's say you're interested in something, I'll try to learn because I want to blend in there. Because if I give you space, that means you will do what you like, I'll do what I like. So what we're doing is both of us are growing apart.
Yeah.
But when I get interested in what you're doing, we shall be bonding together. So you will have an obligation, you're under an obligation to teach me that, so that I also, and that you're spending time together and you're bonding together.
You're learning from each other.
You're learning from each other. And cultures are rich, so learning is the best way. You get to learn different things. You get to know why people do certain things, why they did them, and why they still do them. So that's my take. What's your take, babe?
For me, I don't know why. When I read the question, my first reaction was, why are you trying to get them to? One thing I must say, when you are marrying cross-culturally, you need to lower your expectations. I am hoping that whoever, because we get so many questions, people saying, oh, I'd want to marry cross-culturally, but my family is against it. I want to do this, but my family, how do I want to say, if you are a very traditional, rigid person, marrying cross-culturally might not work for you. If for you, my culture is my God, it might not
That's
work
true.
for you.
Yeah.
Because
You are in for a shock.
You are in for a shock, and you cannot get someone. You well know I am not, I don't know, an Itasut or any tribe. You are marrying me, but suddenly you want me to turn and become this and be. Yes, it's amazing if I can turn and do it, but what if your spouse is not able to? What if they actually do not believe in that culture? You should be open to that reality. By choosing to say that I want to marry this person outside my culture. Be open to the person not fully buying into your cultural practices, at least not 100%. Now, it would be amazing if they did, whether it's a woman or a man, but they might not. And you should be able to be okay with it. That's why I said if you're a very traditional person, intermarriages might not work for you. And that's the sense I get when people ask us questions like, oh, how could you marry outside your tribe? I'm just like, just don't marry outside your tribe. Because if you even question why people marry outside their tribes, do not risk it, because it will fail. It will not work for you. So you have to be very open-minded. When I read that question, what I got was, this is someone who is very fixed on their cultures, that they want the person to become the culture. It's good, and like you said, my love, try to get the person to understand where you come from, to and the ideal thing would be for if I went to Teso and I am able to fit into their traditions, I am able to speak their language, I am able to crack their jokes, I'm able to do all those things, and he came to Ankole and he's able to do the same thing. That's the ideal situation, but sometimes it's not, and you cannot force someone. I married you, but I did not marry your whole clan and your ancestors. So
I subscribe to that reasoning. You can't force. It's not about force. I mean, you need to have dialogue. You need to have discussions about whatever you need to. But above all, I mean, what governs us? What governs us in marriage? What governs us in marriage? Because relationships are not considered in the Bible, really. But in marriage, what governs us is the Bible. We are here to serve Christ. Christ comes first. So anything that does not conform to what Christianity talks about, what the Bible says, lock it in the dustbin and throw it away. So you're not going to find a Christian who's staunch in Christianity, and there are certain practices that you people do that you will try to force the partner to do, which are against their Christian values. So above all, Christianity must take precedent over culture, over anything. So for me, that's my take. So Christianity must, but if it's language, as we have said, learn.
But if the person refuses to learn, it's okay. Like,
it's
don't.
Okay. Yes.
That's my thinking. They would not be justified in refusing to learn your language, but go there with that expectation, and ideally have the conversation before you're married. Get to know. Don't marry someone and expect them to become a Munyankole. And even give them a name. Those are all beautiful things. It's good, and all we do them to get people to feel welcome into our cultures. But if the person refuses, it's at the end of the day, it shouldn't be a deal breaker that my husband refused to I was going to say milk cows, but you guys also have cows, to, I don't know, refuse the shabwe. He doesn't like a shabwe, and now I am taking it personal, like
me have matoke, like don't eat matoke.
So let's measure in measures, not minors. Again, like I said earlier, it depends on your worldview and your school of thought. If your measure is culture, then you should probably reconsider cross-cultural marriages.
Yes. The next question is, what culture is instilled in the kids predominantly?
So that's a very interesting question. That, and I think the question of language, as you're trying to marry cross-culturally, I think that is one thing that you will have to be very deliberate about. It is not easy. So ideally for us, it would be amazing if our kids can speak both our languages. Thank you.
You're speaking around.
And you're like, who is this?
Who is this speaking one?
Thank you, my love.
Okay.
Oh God, I've even lost my train of thought. So as saying, Yes. What was I talking about? Yes, tribes.
Kids.
Culture. So that would be the ideal thing. But I am going to say you have to be very, 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 very intentional. If that means having the kids go to this side of the village on some holidays and then this side on other holidays, that would be amazing. But most times you find that it's hard. For example, I'm going to give an example. Right now, the language that we speak the most in our house is English, because that's a language we all comfortably speak. What that means is that our daughter will pick up on English as the first language. Now, we have tried to bring nannies who are from my husband's side, from Teso, but also from Ankole, just for them to for her to pick up on some of the words as they go. She has picked up on some of the words, and that's why I was saying I am trying to learn the language, because if I don't learn the language, then how do I teach her? Even I cannot communicate well with the house help, for example, even if the house help is from Teso. So what we are trying to do is, one, we learn the languages ourselves, but also be deliberate about having the nannies speak to them in that language. Currently, our nannies are Munyankole. The first one we had was Anita Sot. Right now, so we try to ensure that at least it's from both either tribe, not, because you notice these kids spend a lot of time with the nannies. So if the nannies are Muganda, they will pick up on Uganda. If that's the language you're speaking with the nanny. So we've tried to do that. Is one of the ways we've tried to do it. But ideally, the question was what? What is that?
Instill the culture.
The culture instilled predominantly, I think the person said predominantly, is the biblical culture.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to state that. We try as much as possible for our kids to see their lives through Christ, from the lens of Christ, and then our cultures are secondary. I know I might be thrown stones at for saying that, but that is the reality.
No, but that's the reality. Yeah.
Yeah, but for languages, we are trying. Our desire is that they can learn both languages, and we will try to do it, whether they do it now at 1 year or 2, or if they pick a few words as they go. That would be our desire. Yeah.
I think you've answered that.
Okay.
Yeah, ours is basically Christianity. We are trying to mold our kids in Christianity to mirror Christ, to know. So, but for culture, yes, as you've said, my language, a language, we're trying to make sure
we try to at least make sure they learn each.
Yeah, they learn each.
Okay, so the other question that I remember, why am I getting these questions? They're actually very interesting questions you guys had. One of the questions was, oh gosh, it's skipping my mind. Yes, did you have any challenges, like telling your parents that you are marrying cross-culturally? Someone asked on Instagram. How did you struggle delivering that information to your parents?
I think.
Did you?
No, I didn't struggle.
Or what was their reaction?
I didn't struggle because my mom, they look out for my best interest. Are you happy? Do you love the person? So that was their main thing. So I didn't struggle to tell them on my side, and that is the only opinion that mattered to me. The rest of the opinions, or whether my auntie, whether my uncles, that was secondary. The most important opinion was for my mom. Yeah. And her opinion was going to be informed. She needed also to give me reasons why maybe say she doesn't. But I did not struggle personally. So I told her, that, do you love the person? Yes, you feel that's the person. And it went back to God. Have you consulted? Has God spoken about the person? Are you sure? Because the decision you're going to make, it's not a decision that you're going to it's not these other decisions that we make.
Yeah.
Of okay, let me buy this shirt, and then after you go and buy another one. So that's what she told me. So it was, for me, it was easy for me. But when you say.
But I think how about your extended family?
Yes, my extended.
They have reservations.
Yes, some had reservations, but as I said, their opinions did not matter to me.
Yeah.
They have no consequences. Yeah, and those opinions will always be there. At the end of it all, you cannot get everyone on board.
You can't make everyone happy.
You can't make everyone happy. As they say, if you want to make everyone happy, sell ice cream. But even if you sell ice cream, still guys will hate you for
flavor.
that.
Or the quantity of
the quantity. So at the end of it all, not everyone can be happy, but what is more important is your immediate family.
And so for then on my end, my parents were very okay with it. I think we were raised in a way, our exposure gave us, I'm going to be honest, that where I come from, people are a bit skeptical on intermarriages. I'm sure it goes without saying. That's the biggest number. I'm not going to say all people, because that would include me, that would include 1,000 other people who don't. But there's that group of people that are skeptical. So, but the way my parents raised us was to be open and look at the world as a global village. So for them it was not an issue. My siblings, it was not an issue. But like you said, they were members of the society.
Stakeholders.
I wouldn't call them people you've probably not heard from in I don't know when, who felt that they had an opinion.
Yeah.
And that is always going to happen with intertribal marriages. Someone will wake up and give an opinion, and you're just like, I wish I cared, but if they're watching this video, I'm sorry, but
I think why you apologize.
no, you have to be politically correct. But we both got that. From his end, I got that. From my end, he got that.
Yeah.
But that is part of the course that you get to decide on. I'm just going to say that it is most important that you're happy in your marriage. These people will not be in your marriage.
Exactly.
In fact, the moment your marriage starts struggling, they will be the first people
to
offer opinions. So at the end of the day, you need to make your own decision as an adult. Make the path for yourself. It's easier if your immediate family is on board. I want to imagine it's harder if they're not. And I think we've gotten many questions in our DMs where the immediate family is actually against that decision. It can be hard. Yes. But in that case, I would say know fully in your heart what you want. Yes. You as a person. Because if you're not convinced about your own decision, who are you going to convince?
Yeah, that's
if you yourself, you're shaky, you're wondering, should I not? Who are you going to convince? So there is that fact. And then I think we'll do another video on people who want to pursue that things you must know before you get married. Let's just answer the questions for now. If you're marrying intertribal, stop assuming negativity. Yes, people are bad, but be careful not to think negative. I mean, I've been in I've seen the way, for example, you guys are very traditional in the sense that men, the whole thing of male supremacy and dominance is, guys, it's real. I know it's everywhere in the African culture, but for these guys, it's real. And so you have to go there very carefully. You have to be very, even you, when you well know that you and your spouse are not so much about that, but because you are in that setting, you kind of have to know where they're coming from and tread in their style. Like when you go to Rome, you act like the Romans. It's the same thing with our side. I think for many people it seemed rude that on a function people are speaking Runyankole when you are supposed to try to translate. But there's so many reasons. One, some people actually don't know English. Sure. People don't get offended. I feel like by saying this, I could be offending both my tribe and your people.
But
it's real. Yes, so it also means that sometimes you have to go to understand and be tolerant of people's way of life. Whether you agree with it or you don't,
no, baby,
that is it.
So, even with my siblings, I mean, we jazz in English.
Yes, this guy is still
even in functions.
Even with your mom, you call your mom and you're speaking in English.
Okay.
Yeah, so the other question was how do you deal with communication, especially where in-laws are not fluent in English? You have struggled with that more.
Yeah.
Because some people on my side either love their language so much, but also we take pride in our language. That's also. But you have struggled with that because some people are like, or some actually do not speak English. And I think that's why you said,
Yes,
you'd
yes.
want to learn.
It becomes, it's an effort for you. It's
You have
it's an
to-
area that you struggle.
'Cause you have
Mainly
to
if you want,
communicate.
if you have to communicate.
Yeah.
Because if you don't learn, if you struggle to communicate, and you cannot be around saying, "Madam, baby, translate, I was saying this."
Yeah. So
The meaning is diluted, so it's mainly it has happened on my side because I've struggled more. Because majority of your peoples really love to, but again, your immediate family and really speak English. So I've not
who are
had,
the ones you interact
I
with the
interact
most?
with
Maybe
really
like
more.
on functions.
Yeah, it's only functions, and those are one-offs. Yeah.
Yeah, so what was I going to say? For that one, I have not struggled really because you guys all speak English. What is the other question?
There's a person who asked the question about what happens when your mother, your parents are not into, they're against a certain tribe.
Haven't we answered that?
We answered it,
Against intertribal.
Yes.
Yes, I think we will do a video on things you
I
should
think,
know
yeah.
before you go into an intertribal marriage. I feel like this video has gone so long. Well, we'll answer that. But one, you need to know what you want as a person. Be sure of why you're marrying this person. Someone asked,
And at the end of it all, baby, it's the two of you. You're going to be in there. The function is going to attract very many people. At the end of it all, you will walk away and be one or two in there. And then we must look at the superior thing. What does if God has spoken about a marriage, has spoken about a partner,
yeah,
would you reject God's opinion because your parents don't?
exactly.
But also,
So that
will you
was the other
disobey
thing
your
for
parents?
us. God had actually spoken about.
Yes.
We've done
Yeah.
a video on how we met.
Yes.
So for me, really, these tribal things were very.
So, but what I can say is that once God has spoken about something, He always creates a way. So
Yes,
if God
He
has
will-
created,
thank you.
has spoken about something, just be rest assured, pray to Him and say, as you've spoken.
People will be willing.
Yeah.
God will.
I'll give you guys my last remarks is let me quote Moses. God called Moses to go and rescue his people. He came with excuses. Oh, I am a stammer. God said there's Joshua. Oh, I just ran away from there. Oh, what I have nothing. And God said you have a stick, throw it down and see what you can do. So we may come with, as long as God has spoken about something, has spoken about a partner. Yes, this one may not want, this one may not want, this one may not like, this one may like. It is our duty to pray, because that's where the devil is also trying to fight, because it fights union. So pray for it and God will make a way.
Yes, if you forget everything we've said in this video, remember that God is the author of marriages. And our cultures not sound too mzungu and uncultured. But our cultures are just primary, secondary rather. You can interpret it the way you want or from your worldview.
Anything does not conform to the Bible.
Yes, our cultures are good, I think, and that's why we are fighting to make sure they're not eroded. Yes, we are married intertribal. We would want our kids to learn the languages, not only have English as their only language. But anything that, if for example you are a Christian, you claim to be a Christian, and you cringe at the idea that someone married someone of another tribe, you need to question yourself. You really, really need to do a deep, clean search in yourself on whether really you have been redeemed and whether Christ has. Yeah, so I think we've been redeemed.
So guys, please comment, like, tell us.
Someone asked, what is the best part about marrying cross-culturally? You
learn a lot.
Yes, you learn a lot.
That's all I can say. Every day is a learning process.
You learn a lot, and if you're someone who loves learning, I think for me that has been the joy. Oh my God, you people are amazing. I must say this is not Kalango, but I am glad that I'm married into you guys' tribe. These guys are the warmest, kindest, sweetest people.
Okay.
And I'm not saying this for what, but you are just good people. Very good people. I know many people agree. I don't think many tribes in Uganda are that way, but I have found that people in their tribe are very welcoming. They're so kind. They won't impose on you things. I have found it easy to be married, especially to your tribe and specifically to your family. That could be a different case for another tribe, and then also get to know is this person you're marrying very traditional? Don't marry a child of a king and expect that they will not impose their traditions on you. They'll probably will. I don't know why a child of a king would be marrying outside their tribes, but yeah, so that is it from me, and we pray that you marry the people you want to marry and live happily.
Yeah. At the end of it all, love. Let love prevail. And I said love has no boundaries. So guys, that's it from us.
The other advantage of being married cross-culturally is being able to enjoy from both sides. I have made connections, like, I mean, everything is about networking in this country and this century. It's good if, you know, I am on your side, I know people from your side, people will say, oh, this is our daughter, this is someone from my, because of the fact that I have married, I'm married to you. So I get the benefit, I get the benefit of being married,
to
having my family here, but also walking into places where there are intersorts and they recognize me and they say, oh, this is our daughter, this is, that's something you don't get if you're not,
that's true.
don't intermarry. Guys, this was a fun conversation. We would love to continue it, but we have to stop here. We love you. Till next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.